Hello, I'm Jennifer Wren, single malt specialist for White & Mackay, the makers of Shackleton Blended Malt Scotch Whiskey. I am thrilled to join Shackleton in supporting the 2020 Women of Discovery Awards Gala, celebrating pioneers in ocean conservation and exploration. To bolster team spirit on his 1907 Antarctic expedition, legendary explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton personally ordered 25 cases of McKinley's rare old Highland malt whiskey. It was with whiskey that Shackleton brought his crew together to toast wives and sweethearts, celebrate birthdays, and above all, foster a sense of team spirit that led his crew to succeed against the hardest of odds. To facilitate his expedition and store much-needed supplies, while still maintaining a light and efficient cargo, Shackleton set up outposts throughout his journey. One such building, a 33-foot-long hut on Cape Royds, served as a pivotal location to fortify his crew during the 1907 Nimrod expedition. As young girls, Anne Bancroft and Liv Arneson, both 2008 recipients of the WINGS Women of Discovery Courage Award, read a recount of Sir Ernest Shackleton's legendary attempt to cross Antarctica that stirred their imaginations. Despite being completely unaware of one another, they both declared the same childhood dream: to ski across Antarctica. In 1998, the women met for the first time and discovered they were kindred spirits and prepared to achieve their childhood dream. Starting November 13th, 2000, Bancroft and Arneson skied and sailed across Antarctica for 94 days and over 1,700 miles, pulling 250-pound sleds full of food and equipment, enduring temperatures as low as -30 degrees Fahrenheit and wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour. And through internet and satellite communications, they honored the memory of Shackleton by broadcasting their inspirational journey to more than 3 million children around the world. As part of their journey, these intrepid women were granted permission to visit Shackleton's hut before they departed for warmer climates. Bancroft recalls, "It was an utter thrill to stand in the Nimrod hut. Ernest Shackleton was an inspiration to us, and now Liv and I had actualized that dream." Although during his 1907 voyage, Shackleton did not make his goal of reaching the South Pole. In 2007, just 6 years after Bancroft and Arneson visited the hut, a most unusual discovery was made. A full century after the expedition, and due to the unique qualities of the dry and frozen Antarctic air, 3 cases of the perfectly preserved McKinley's malt whiskey, ordered by Shackleton himself, were discovered, frozen into the ice beneath base camp at Cape Royds. And to once again quote Bancroft, "We also carried whiskey on all of our expeditions to mark key events such as Christmas. And had we known there was whiskey under the floorboards, we might still be there." The whiskey was excavated and flown to New Zealand, where it was carefully thawed by the New Zealand Antarctic Heritage Trust in a purpose-built environment and public gallery at Canterbury Museum. After its discovery frozen in the ice, a little portion of the whiskey returned home to Scotland, where world-renowned master blender Richard Patterson carried out painstaking analysis to recreate this antique whiskey, and used this as the foundation to create Shackleton Blended Malt, the whiskey we enjoy today. Now, to honor the work of WINGS WorldQuest in helping extraordinary women make important discoveries in science and exploration, I invite those at home that have your bottle of Shackleton to share with me a little taste of history, and please join me in creating a celebratory cocktail, the Shackleton Antarctic Mule. First, you're going to fill your mule mug to the top with ice. And you want to get a lot of ice in there, because a classic mule fills all the way up. There we go. Perfect. And next, you're going to add 2 ounces of Shackleton Blended Malt to your mix. And give it a little pour. And then you're going to add just about a 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice. That is right. The fresher, the better, if you can make that happen. Perfect. And now, so the cocktail is well balanced, we're going to give it a little stir there. There we go. A little stir there. Just enough to get it going. I like to add a little extra ice just to top it off. And then I'm going to give it just about a dash of aromatic bitters. Perfect. And fill to the top with Fever Tree tonic water. It's one of our favorites. Ah, look at that. That's perfect. And now to finish this beautiful beverage, I'm going to garnish with a lime and a little sprig of mint. There we go. Perfection. And on that note, I would love to raise my glass with you. A toast to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. And most importantly, may we continue to generously fund and support their quest to find solutions to global problems through bold research and exploration projects. And now, I am very proud to officially welcome you to the 2020 WINGS Women of Discovery Awards Gala and to introduce our host, award-winning journalist, author, and founder of Katie Couric Media, Katie Couric.
Hi, everyone, and cheers. I was making my drink right along with all of you. Welcome to the WINGS WorldQuest Women of Discovery Awards. I'm so excited to be with you all, and this is going to make it even more fun. Hopefully, I won't be slurring my words at the end of this award celebration, because I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate so many extraordinary women in science, something that's so near and dear to my heart. My name is Katie Couric. Hopefully some of you remember who I am. I'm a journalist, an author, and currently am the co-founder of a media company called, of course, Katie Couric Media. We're here to celebrate and support women field scientists and explorers tonight, the courageous and smart women who are making extraordinary discoveries that expand our understanding of the world and provide a vision for the future. WINGS WorldQuest celebrates and supports women field scientists and explorers, women who deserve our attention because, quite frankly, the world needs their knowledge and insight now more than ever. In the next 45 minutes, we are going to meet some brilliant women and learn how they're exploring our planet and our universe. That includes Her Deepness, a personal hero of mine, Dr. Sylvia Earle, who I'll be interviewing live as she accepts WINGS 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award.
Some of the things I love about being a scientist is that you're really discovering the unknown. You're constantly getting to learn new things that people never knew before.
Can't believe that I skied across Antarctica. It's just too ridiculous.
Reached the top of the pass and it's unbelievable. The view is spectacular.
These fish are dying out. We're not going to be stopped by closed doors.
We're going to fight every day in the water. It's going to be tough.
What I appreciate most about WINGS is that it celebrates women in their uniqueness.
Yay! I know if we were all together, that would get a huge round of applause. I don't know about you, but I was so inspired just from that video alone, seeing all those beautiful, brilliant women out there doing their thing. I think we can all agree that science is more important than ever. The entire globe is being challenged by this pandemic, and scientists are creating a vaccine as we speak to protect us. The next dangerous virus already exists, and scientists are trying to identify that, so we're better prepared next time. Forests, as we've seen in California and throughout the West Coast, are under increasing threats from wildfires. Scientists are exploring how resilient ecosystems can recover from these devastating fires. The world's oceans are warming. Scientists are showing us oceans' vital contribution to life on Earth now and well into the future. And where there is science, that's right, everybody, yay, there are women. Fossils that reveal our past, discovered by women. Venom that could be the next diabetes or pain medication, discovered, yes, by women. The challenge of exploring Mars, understood by women. Women scientists and explorers bring a unique point of view and value to science and exploration. And as we've seen time and time again, when women lead, new ideas emerge. But women's science, their explorations, field expeditions, and research is funded less and less in scientific literature. Women scientists face more barriers to just getting their work done, yet the world needs their contributions now more than ever. I know how much resistance I faced in my career, sometimes overt sexism, sometimes subtle undermining. You can read about it in my upcoming memoir, which is out next October. I describe my journey in a book, as I mentioned, that will be released next year. And I can only imagine the roadblocks faced by women's field scientists as well as explorers. I'm sure you guys could all write books yourselves, and many of you have, and I hope all of you will. WINGS WorldQuest is the only organization that provides unrestricted grants to women field scientists and explorers. With funding and celebrations like this, WINGS promotes and connects this amazing community of women in science so they can continue their work, support each other, and mentor the next generation. With support, women remain in their field of study to open labs, climb mountains, and explore the deepest oceans. WINGS programs support women scientists every step of the way with the Women of Discovery Awards, flag carrier grants, webinars that provide a platform for sharing ideas, forums for peer support, mentoring opportunities, and much more. You can join with your support anytime, and I encourage all of you to do so and tell your friends. Just visit wingsworldquest.org. So please join me in supporting WINGS WorldQuest. I admire adventurous women. That is why I'm a big supporter of WINGS. Here are two who are groundbreakers, record setters, and explorers of the first rank, Anne Bancroft and Liv Arneson. Anne is the first woman to stand at both the North and South Pole, and Anne and Liv are the first women to sail and ski across Antarctica's landmass, as we heard earlier, completing a 94-day, 1,700-mile trek. This truly dynamic duo also led the first women's team to reach the South Pole on skis. I can't even go down the bunny slope. Today, they share their love of exploration as role models for the next generation with Bancroft Arneson Explore and the Anne Bancroft Foundation. Hello, Polar Explorers.
Hi, everyone. This is Anne and Liv, and we were just laughing. We're so delighted to join you, but 20 years ago, we were on Antarctica, and we had this remarkable device called a satellite phone, and we would call in to various media outlets. It was one of the ways that we would spread the word to the millions of children that were following along on our journey. And when we called Katie Couric, we would say, hi, this is Anne and Lee from the ice. And of course, we were freezing and we were in all this glorious landscape of whiteness, and sometimes they would even put us on hold until they went and collected Katie to ask us a few questions before we continued to ski across Antarctica. So I think it's so amazing that here we are. And of course, you know, in all seriousness, it really wasn't always fun. I mean, we had really hard days. Actualizing your dream is hard work. But we did have fun along the way. And there's one particular day that was, I would say it was our worst day. And I often say I was actually depressed. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we had no wind for many days, maybe a week or so. So we were far behind the schedule because we also used wind sails because we traveled 3,000 kilometers. I'm not into miles. I still don't know about the miles. So we were far behind schedule, and we had called CNN. And reporter there had brought a person that could tell us about the wind in Antarctica, that it was no wind. So we were supposed to be the sort of fun news there. And I don't know what we said, but it was our hardest day. And we planned to send the message to the kids that was following us to make wind dances and wind songs, and we also brought out the mouth harp that I just have now. So we brought the wind song. But we finally picked up the wind and made the whole crossing. But that was a very depressing day that ended in a good laugh.
Yeah, and laughter and humor is such a strong tool to sort of recalibrating your whole psyche, and it really changed everything for us because you know, it seems so grave, and then possibilities show up, you know, and you just have to keep. I think it was Shackleton actually who said a very short quote. He said, "There's always a way." And once we sort of loosened up our mental stuckness, we were able to see that there were more ways to keep on going. And of course, we were able to prevail. How lucky are we to be in this collective group of unique and powerful women? Thanks for supporting the work that WINGS does. It makes a huge impact on all of our lives. We really appreciate it.
And thanks to Anne and Liv. And of course, Anne, I remember talking to you over a satellite phone. And I'd like to apologize a few years later that we did put you on hold and you were probably freezing your you-know-what off. Anyway, now we're going to hear more about WINGS Flag Carrier Program from WINGS fellow Mandy Holford.
I'm so proud to be a WINGS fellow, along with Anne Bancroft and more than 130 other accomplished women explorers and scientists. I have a doctor in synthetic protein chemistry, and every day I study venom, specifically the venom of sea snails. We study them to see how we can harness the peptides in their venom for use in medicine, and how we connect nature and humanity for the benefit of planetary and human health. Dr. Sylvia Earle has been a leader in ocean science, where I find my venomous snails. Dr. Earle's books and speeches have been an inspiration to me. I'm thrilled that later in this program, she will be accepting WINGS WorldQuest Women of Discovery Lifetime Achievement Award. I became a WINGS Fellow in 2019, and the award has been transformative. To begin with, I've gained a special relationship with my other 2019 fellows, Dr. Darlene Lim, Dr. Lolly Lichtenfield, and Dr. Christy Kranath, all amazing scientists and explorers, and dear, dear, dear to my heart. Even though we're on different continents, and our fields of study are very different, varying from space, lions, tigers, and killer snails, our support for each other is invaluable. WINGS has made that possible, and we treasure it dearly. The great news is there are WINGS fellows on every continent. This map is by WINGS fellow Marie Tharp, a geologist who co-created the first scientific map of the Atlantic Ocean floor. WINGS fellows in Africa include Thundui Mowitwa, who tracks lions, and Gladys Kalima Ziku Soka, who has saved the lives of countless mountain gorillas by discovering critical links between the environment, human health, and the health of wildlife. In Europe, you'll find WINGS fellows Dr. Anna Pinto deep in a cave tracing the steps of Neanderthals. In Asia, just try to keep up with WINGS fellow Dr. Asha DeVos, a groundbreaking Sri Lankan marine biologist who studies blue whales. And Dr. Bolor Setsing Minjin, a fierce protector of Mongolians' fossil heritage. And of course, my close friend, Dr. Krithi Kunath, who is helping communities in India live side by side with tigers and other creatures of the wild. In Oceania, you'll find flag bearer Zephyr Alexander in Fiji, where she is studying seeds to better understand and protect biodiversity and culture. In South America, WINGS fellow Dr. Juliana Mercado Ferreira uses forensics to protect biodiversity and combat wildlife trafficking in Brazil. In Argentina, Costanza Cerruti is the world's first female high-altitude archaeologist. Dr. Cerruti is an expert on high mountain cultures all around the world. And in our very own North America, at Caltech's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Dr. Rosalie Lopez has discovered more volcanoes in our solar system than anyone else. On Jupiter's moon, Io, Dr. Lopez identified 71 active volcanoes. Talk about hot stuff. Astrophysicist Nirgis Marval-Vala is an expert on gravitational waves. She was recently named the first female dean of MIT School of Science. That's an amazing honor and accomplishment. But before she was making waves as new dean at MIT, Nargis won a WINGS WorldQuest Women of Discovery Award. I'm so proud of this long tradition of excellence that embodies WINGS fellows, and to be a WINGS fellow myself among these extraordinary women.
Can I say that? Wow. Thank you, Mandy. My name is Erin, and while I'm listening to these incredible stories, I am here as your fundraising ambassador. I'm so excited for all of the work that WINGS WorldQuest does, supporting field scientists, explorers, and all the women that we get to meet in this beautiful program today. That map is so inspirational. So my job is to do a little directing as you'll explore this evening on your donation button down below. It's very important that you remember that this is so important. You are the wind beneath WINGS' wings. So thank you so much for your support this evening. You'll also see we have a raffle that's going on that will get you a library from WINGS with 20 books. You have a chat over here. This is a live program. We can see you. Send us messages. In fact, where are you viewing from today? You're all over the world, right? How many are the farthest away and how many are right here? So thank you again. Keep giving. I'll see you back in a little bit. And again, the buttons are right there and over there to give and also to chat. Now, if you're watching on a friend's computer, you can text in WINGS to the number 243-725. See you in a little bit. Back to you, Katie.
Thank you so much. Awesome job, Erin. 136 fellows, 136 inspiring women, and between them, thousands of ideas and discoveries the world needs to know. One of WINGS' key program is its flag carrier grants, as I mentioned earlier. These grants support early and mid-career women scientists. Applicants must be doing original research. If accepted, they carry the WINGS flag on their expedition, which is so cool. You can read their field reports, by the way, at wingsworldquest.org. The WINGS flags have been everywhere, by the way, to mountaintops, down rivers, across deserts, to remote islands, every continent, every biome, every elevation. I feel so sciencey saying every biome. Your donations can help put flags in the field. That's the power of your support. We're going to hear from 3 flag carriers tonight. First, marine conservation biologist Callie Wielenturf, who recently returned from the Pearl Islands in Panama, where she was researching the illegal wildlife trade in sea turtles. Callie's returning the flags to WINGS, flag number 29.
The time for being tempered has passed. Because we have had drastic negative effects on the oceans, now is a time for drastic change. We should be inconvenienced for the sake of positive change, for the sake of leaps in the right direction. If we aren't inconvenienced, we are not doing enough. I think it's our job as youth to bring a lack of complacency and a sense of urgency to the table, to raise our voices and be the boots on the ground daring to go to remote places to implement conservation strategies. If I could live any time, I would live now. Now is a time when we already know what threats are causing the greatest detriment to our oceans, to planet health, and to the health of our endangered wildlife populations. And we already know largely how to reduce our impacts. We have the solutions. Now is a time for accountability, a time for taking action and responsibility, for promoting stewardship of our Earth, united as species Homo sapiens. After all, as far as we know, there's only one inhabitable blue planet. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Callie Wielenturf and I'm a marine biologist and conservationist. I'm so excited to be part of this virtual WINGS WorldQuest Women of Discovery Gala. Sea turtle conservation has brought me to various countries in Latin America, West Africa, and the Caribbean, and just last year I started a nonprofit organization called the Leatherback Project. As sea turtles are flagship species, by studying them and the threats facing their survival, we can open the doors to conversations about the greatest threats facing our oceans today. The Leatherback Project initiatives include an international artificial intelligence photo identification program for leatherbacks, a fisheries bycatch reduction program in Ecuador, a sea turtle conservation and monitoring program in Panama, and an international campaign advocating for constitutional rights for nature. I admire the work of WINGS WorldQuest in lifting up the voices of women in conservation, exploration, and science. It's been a great honor to be part of the WINGS community and to have had the opportunity to bring flag number 29 to the Pearl Islands, Panama to discover new sea turtle nesting and foraging grounds. Thank you, WINGS.
And thank you, Callie, so much. Thank you for your extraordinary work and commitment. And actually, I got a package today. I'm thinking, what is this? Oh, look. How about that, everyone? It's Callie's flag 29 back from Panama. Don't worry, I'll return it, you all. I'm not gonna save this and keep it from being used by the next important female scientist. Who knows where it'll go next? For more, let's go back to Mandy.
Next, let's hear from marine scientist Galen Rosenwax, who carried the WINGS flag to Palau, where she studied how corals regenerate. And now Galen is researching sperm whales.
This is a story that started decades ago. A story that changed my life. And almost took it.
So I'm really happy to be alive. The river just came up and flooded the entire airport.
This is my journey to reconnect with a whale. All right, well, let's try to find them. And to help an entire species. Should Feisty have still been with his mother? Could he have found her once he had returned to the open ocean? Is he still out there?
My name is Galen Rosenwax. I'm a marine scientist, photographer, and filmmaker, and perhaps most importantly, a proud WINGS flag carrier. I'm delighted to be here this evening to share with you that sneak peek of my current project, Finding Feisty, which is a film about my personal connection with sperm whales and what incredible animals they are. What makes them so cool? Well, lots of things, but mostly for my film, their matriarchal structure. And often we found ourselves in the water with multiple generations of these powerful female whales. It was absolutely incredible. Well, I'd love to tell you more about that project. I'd really like to take this time to share with you why WINGS is such an incredible organization and why I'm so honored to be a part of it. I've carried the WINGS flag on 2 of my expeditions, one to Peru and one to Palau, where I created a film about corals and climate change. Now, the honor of carrying the flag is more than enough, but the unrestricted funds that come with carrying that flag really helped to get that project finished and to help, once the project was finished, amplify the distribution of the film so that we could get this important story out to the world. Now, I work tirelessly to share my passion for ocean exploration and conservation by telling these stories, and it's wonderful to have the support of WINGS, both to amplify my work, but most importantly to be bolstered by the incredible support of these amazing women. Thank you so much for having me this evening, and enjoy the program.
Sunniva Sorby and Hilda Fallenstrom had a plan to live above the Arctic Circle through the Arctic winter. With the help of a WINGS flag grant, they collected data on weather and wildlife and even measured particles in the aurora borealis, the northern lights, to learn more about Earth's atmosphere. But when it was time for the expedition to come to an end, they couldn't get off the island. The unexpected happened and the COVID-19 pandemic restricted travel. Suddenly, the pair were stranded in the Arctic. WINGS came to their rescue with the WINGS Emergency Fund Grant, especially for women stranded, threatened, or otherwise unsafe in the field. This grant is so critically important. Sunniva and Hilda used the funds to keep their communications equipment working. Sunniva and Hilda, congratulations on getting your science done, exploration, and most of all, surviving. Thanks to WINGS for the critical funding which they needed.
These 2 containers have ice and snow in there. And when it melts, that's how we get our fresh water.
The 2 co-founded Hearts in the Ice to foster a global conversation about climate change.
We had 2 main goals to be up here. One was to collect data for a group of international scientists studying climate change, and also to connect with school kids around the world.
Among the projects is one for NASA on clouds that could impact the Earth's temperature, and another one involves collecting saltwater samples.
And we have also collecting sea ice samples. So we drill a hole through the ice, and underneath the sea ice there are microorganisms that the scientists believe is extremely important for the whole ecosystem in the ocean.
But they believe their efforts are well worth it.
We can't wait any longer. We've seen with COVID that the change is happening fast, that the planet is taking an absolute breather because of all of us, and we're all needed right now. Hi, I'm Sunniva, a proud and honored flag carrier for WINGS WorldQuest in support of our project that my expedition partner and I created, Hearts in the Ice. The very kernel, the red thread of Hearts in the Ice is about global connectivity around a climate crisis we have all known about for decades, but perhaps didn't quite grasp or fully understand the severity of until our diverse ecosystems have spiraled out of control. As we say, and as Homeward Bound says, Mother Nature needs her daughters, and here we are. For 12 months, Hilda and I lived in a tiny trapper's cabin, 20 square meters, 215 square feet, with no running water, no electricity, using solar and wind for our power. We were completely alone, isolated and remote. 3 of those months were entirely unexpected due to COVID. Our initial plan being to leave there last May, but with travel restrictions the way they were, we could not leave Bumsaboo, and we stayed throughout the summer and actually continued our field work. Hilda and I were the only ones that were consistently collecting data in the field in the Arctic this past summer, given that the researchers couldn't travel. And with the generous support of WINGS WorldQuest, we received funding through their emergency fund to support our communication and education outreach, for which we are forever grateful. This was entirely unexpected and a huge relief for us. It was a kind of support that was both monetary and acknowledging of our project. Support from women around the world for our work as polar ambassadors and citizen scientists have sustained us through that very long polar night. Collaborations with leaders like WINGS were the shining light during that polar night. And just so you know, the polar night is actually 24 hours, 7 days a week of darkness that lasts for over 3 months. According to scientists at NASA, and we had 2 projects we were working on with NASA, Clouds and the Aurora, we were actually closer to the lowest band of the Aurora, which was 120 kilometers away, than we were to the closest town of Longyearbyen, 140 kilometers away. Our closest neighbors, polar bears. And throughout the year, we had over 53 polar bear encounters. One of them was 2 meters away, 6 feet, a little too close for comfort. But we chose to be there. We chose to live in self-imposed isolation. And it was a choice that we made to ignite action and engagement around a natural world that needs us all right now. Change never happens overnight, but it does always start with us.
It absolutely starts with us. And it starts with us taking those risks. So Neva and Hilda could continue their work because of WINGS supporters like you. You made sure the emergency funds were there and when they needed them. Critical funds at the critical time. We didn't know this was going to happen, but with the unrestricted gifts, they were able to continue their hard work and stay safe during it. We need explorers now more than ever. Explorers see possibilities where others see nothing but problems. WINGS is helping to foster a new generation of women explorers that aren't afraid of the dragons at the edge of the map. That quote might sound familiar because it's from our friend Edie Witter. It's true. It is you and it is here. Now, I mentioned earlier that you could help support WINGS tonight by clicking below or over to the side and joining us on some of the chats, and also by donating. Your donations are so important right now more than ever. I love this special donation at the $1,000 level that sponsors a flag carrier expedition or a scientist in the field, just like Sunniva. Those gifts are so important. And as I saw your chats coming in everywhere from Alaska and the British Columbia and even New Jersey, everybody is here represented and coming together. This world is giant, but it's also small. And as women, we need to come together and support those that are out there making the world more everything, more explored, more helpful, healing it, exploring it, and changing it. This world needs us, and it needs you. So you are the community that comes together that makes that happen. Now, again, down below me, there's some donations I see coming in right now. I just saw a $500 gift come in from Erica. Thank you, Lacey Rice, $500. Thank you so much. I'm seeing some of these gifts come in, and I think we can do this tonight. We have a pretty big goal, but we are so excited that you've come together. Now, you'll see there's gifts that are listed there: $5,000 supporting Explorers Forum, $1,000 sponsoring a flag carrier grant. Now, we mentioned these are unrestricted gifts. These are suggested gifts of what they could do. Your money can go so far and really change the world. I mean, as you know, Mandy is exploring snail venom. How cool is that? Who would even know? But you make it happen. You're out there saying, we believe in you and we want WINGS to come together. We can't be in person today, and obviously we want to be in person, and next year we will. But right now, you are critical. You are the critical wind beneath the wings of WINGS. So, like Sylvia and Hilda needed, you're there. Thank you so much for all you're doing. I'll see you back in a little bit and check in on that fundraising. You are an incredible group, and I know that we can change the world together. So keep going. Katie, back to you. What a great night. I'm watching the gifts come in, and it's exciting.
I love watching you, Erin, encouraging people to give. You're inspiring me. I'm going to make a $10,000 donation. If anybody would like to match me, that would be super cool, because I'd like to support all these extraordinary female scientists and help them continue their critically important research. And you're right, snail venom. How cool is that? I agree. Who knew? But I love it. Anyway, I was so inspired by women when I was growing up. And now, as the mother of 2 daughters, I've tried to expose them and introduce them to as many female leaders as I possibly could. And I was lucky to be able to do that. with some of the jobs that I've had. Mentorship is such an important part of WING's mission. Through webinars from the rainforest or a lab into classrooms, WING's fellows inspire the next generation of extraordinary scientists. This past summer, WING's fellows mentored a diverse group of female identifying students in New York City. This was in the midst of the pandemic. Over Zoom calls, the students in the ED SNAPS program interviewed WING's fellows who shared their own challenges growing up. WING's fellows are inspiring STEM education now and into the future.
The WINGS WorldQuest Women of Discovery Awards were established in 2003 to recognize extraordinary women making significant contributions to world science and knowledge through exploration. 136 women have received this amazing honor, and with it, an unrestricted grant they can use to further their life and work. This year, the Women of Discovery Awards focuses on the largest ecosystem on the planet, my favorite backyard, the world's oceans.
And now it's my pleasure to announce the 2020 Women of Discovery Sea Award goes to, drum roll please, Dr. Diva Amon. By the way, I love your name, Dr. Amon. Own it. Own it, woman. Dr. Amon is a Trinidadian deep sea biologist with a special interest in deep sea organisms and how human activity affects life far below the ocean's surface. She is especially interested in the deep seas and has been 1.6 miles below the ocean surface. Dr. Amon has discovered 6 new deep sea species and is a strong voice on the need to protect the deep ocean from human impacts, including mining, pollution, and climate change. Dr. Amon also co-founded the nonprofit Species, SPESEAS, dedicated to marine science, education, and advocacy in her home of Trinidad and Tobago. Congratulations to Dr. Diva Amon.
Nadir, control over. Make your heading 22090 meters to waypoint 23, over.
We all want to be explorers at some point in our childhood, and to do deep sea research is to be a modern day explorer. The most alluring thing about the deep ocean is that it's unknown. The sea floor of our planet hasn't been mapped in the detail that the moon has. That's not a cliche, that's true. And that's exciting. You could go down to this place that no one's ever been, find something no one's ever seen, and be able to answer a question that no one's been able to answer before. The morning of your dive, you're really excited because you're getting to go to a place that few people get to go. You get into the submersible and you're lowered off the side.
855 on the B.
You sort of splash in, and it's just this wild experience. As you descend through the water column, you lose light, and so you see this progression. And then before you know it, you're down on the deep sea floor and you see it sort of loom out of the distance.
Control, Deep Rover, on bottom. Deep Rover, this is Control, on bottom, 533 meters.
And then it's time to begin science. At the end of the day, we rely on our oceans as humans. We live on a planet which is constantly changing, and that's quite sad given that the ecosystem in the deep sea hasn't even been explored in its entirety. We can't manage and protect what we don't know and what we don't understand. So it's sort of now a race to find out what lives there before it's changed and can't be changed back. Hopefully the research that I'm doing out here will eventually be used to better understand our oceans and also to better manage and protect our oceans for generations to come. Hello everyone, my name is Diva Amon and I'm a deep sea biologist working at the nexus of science, policy and communication. I'm absolutely thrilled to receive the 2020 WINGS Women of Discovery Sea Award. This was a complete surprise and I'm so humbled to be given this honour, especially as it's been bestowed on so many women that I consider to be personal heroes. I'd like to share a little bit more about why I do what I do with you, and including why this award is so important. Although I'm currently filming this in London because my country's borders have been shut since March, I'd like to start this story in my home, the islands of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. I grew up loving the ocean, and hours were spent playing on the beach, snorkeling, sailing, and I would often look out to sea and wish I could pull away that dark, murky water to reveal what was down in those depths. The Caribbean was really where my love for the ocean blossomed, and it wasn't until many, many years later, while at university, that I realized there was so much more about the ocean to love than what meets the eye in the shallows. The deep ocean is not only the Caribbean's largest ecosystem, but it also provides over 95% of all the habitable space on Earth. And with most of it still unexplored, there is no place on this planet that we know less about. It is a vast reservoir of biodiversity, still most of which hasn't been discovered. And it is absolutely essential to keeping our planet healthy and keeping us alive by providing key ecosystem services and resources. But already, unprecedented changes are happening. With our exploitation of the deep ocean only increasing, things may only get worse. If we continue to proceed blindly and irresponsibly, we will likely lose parts of our planet before we truly know them. My research tries to prevent this. It focuses on increasing our understanding of the deep ocean and then using that knowledge to mitigate our impacts and manage our deep oceans more effectively. Iconic places like the Grand Canyon and the Okavango Delta and the Himalayas all likely exist in the deep ocean. We just need to find them. And when we find them, we need to protect them. By engaging with national and international policymakers, I'm working to ensure that science informs key ocean governance processes. And finally, it has been an utter privilege to experience the ocean in the way that I have, and I feel compelled to share that. Not only do I want the kids who look out to sea to know about the manta rays, the yeti crabs, and even the bone-eating zombie worms, but I want them to be stewards that understand and value the absolute majesty of the ocean. The ocean is truly global, so all of humankind, not just an elite few, should know enough to inform the decisions we take, because ultimately that's how we'll preserve it for generations to come. To help make that a reality, I joined up with 4 friends to create Species. Species is a not-for-profit NGO that uses science, education, and advocacy to ensure a better understanding of marine ecosystems amongst all stakeholders in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. Just last week, we launched the Maritime Ocean Collection, which integrates state-of-the-art 360-degree photography, Google Street View, smartphone technology, and videography, and allows anyone, whether you're an adult or a child, or a Trinbagonian or a visitor, to view Trinidad and Tobago's remarkable underwater world. I highly encourage you to check it out if you have a chance. So 2020 has certainly been a challenging year, but for many working in conservation, the struggle is set to increase exponentially, as many funding agencies will unfortunately be tightening their belts. Hence, This WINGS Award has really come at a great time. I cannot underscore how important unconstrained funding like this is, particularly for women who often have to forge unconventional paths in order to create change and find solutions. This award will allow both myself and species to continue to shine a light on the ocean so that we can manage and protect it better. I wish I'd been able to thank you all in person. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for next year, but once again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations, Diva. That is awesome. And as I see in the chat, I also am struck with the idea of bone-eating zombie worms. I don't know. You are awesome. Won't stop me from surfing, though, or exploring. So it's so cool. You are all doing so much. Katie, wow, that was awesome. Such a surprise. So Katie threw out there that she was going to throw in $10,000 and said, hey, who can meet it, right? And so who can match that? This is really exciting because we got a little note over here saying a friend would like to give $5,000 towards that and ask the rest to be matched. Now, this gift is not just a gift. She wanted it to be in honor of Beth Nixon. Now, if you know Beth, she's been working her butt off and just being absolutely incredible for WINGS, as you all are. You know, it really is a partnership. It's not alone. You know, you are out there braving so many things, and we are inspired by all of your adventures, like Diva, like so many of you explorers that are out there that you, oh my goodness, names are flying in. I'm sorry I got distracted, but we just got a $1,000 gift came in from Jeffrey Wells. Thank you so much. Tori Goldstein, $100. Anne Green, Tej Julius, Sherry Sant. Now I have to warn you about something. If I've messed up your name, just, you know, give more and I'll try it again, right? Like that's a good way to do it. Or if you've got a really crazy name and you want me to say it, definitely give. So we're seeing some really incredible gifts coming in, and we're going to hopefully make that $10,000 match. Do you think we can do it? I think we can. Here we go. Karen Zeef, thank you. Debbie McKenna, oh my goodness, a $500 gift. Michelle Perry, thank you so much. Nina Rumbo, thank you. Oh my goodness. Jeffrey Wells, Maud Wells, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at these gifts flying in. And as you can see up at the top of the screen, we are $8,000 away from 100,000. Oh, come on. We can do better than that. I know we can. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm actually an auctioneer, a female auctioneer, which is just as rare out there as some other jobs that we don't normally see females in. And it takes support. It takes knowing that you're not alone, standing up and saying, I am going to do the unthinkable. That's where WINGS is. That's who WINGS is. They're with the fellows. They're honoring these incredible women and making explorations in the deepest, darkest, craziest places of the world. And even with the snails. I mean, they're just incredible. So all of your flag carriers, you're making that happen. You're out there saying that you believe in the exploration of all of these incredible women. So I want to just quickly remind you that down below is also a silent auction with an incredible tasting for 20 people with a virtual Shackleton tasting. I hope you all have your bottles of Shackleton out there. Mine is waiting for me for right after this gala because I am so excited. Watching your gifts come in. I'm going to be back for one more time. Can we make it to beat 100,000 before I come back? What do you think, Katie? I think we can do it. So on to you for our next Women of Discovery Award. So I'm excited.
Erin, honestly, you are kicking butt, doing this great job raising money. Thank you. And thanks everyone who's donated. Keep it coming, everybody. And if we don't get to our final number, I'm going to throw in an auction item, which is drinks, hopefully, or lunch with me. So if you want to buy, my assistant is going, what are you doing? I can't help it. Maybe it's the Shackleton, or I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just taken with this whole event. But anyway, if anybody wants to have drinks with me, hopefully not with masks after well, no, wear your mask. But I mean, after a vaccine comes out and we can all socialize again, or I'll do it in a socially distant way, please make a donation, and the highest bidder will get a chance to be in my company. What a thrill. All right. This year's 3 Women of Discovery awardees are all ocean scientists. And of course, when it comes to ocean science, men go deep, but women go deeper. One reason all ocean explorers can travel to the depths is because of our next awardee, Liz Taylor, and the team at Deep Ocean Exploration and Research, also known as DO-ER. Taylor and her team are being honored with the 2020 Innovation in Technology Award. DO-ER designs and builds robotic and human-operated systems for deep ocean exploration. Their current focus is Project Deep Search, an innovative program to build a human-occupied submersible capable of full ocean depth, providing unlimited ocean access to science. WINGS WorldQuest is honoring the entire DO-ER team to emphasize the importance of collaboration and science. So a big congratulations to Liz Taylor and the entire DO-ER team.
Hi, I'm Liz Taylor, President and CEO of DO-ER Marine Operations. At DO-ER, we build solutions for underwater problems of all kinds, be they remotely operated vehicles for investigating archaeological sites or looking at infrastructure, to human-occupied vehicles to take people directly into the ocean to explore. Very honored to receive the Team Innovation Award, the inaugural Team Innovation Award from WINGS. The work that WINGS has been doing to give women working in science and exploration unrestricted funding is a remarkable gift. It's particularly challenging for women to compete for some of these grants and funding for projects. It's a realm that's been traditionally dominated by men, and to have that ability to not worry about funding, to have that a place where you can go and apply for funding that's provided by women for women is deeply gratifying, and we're so thrilled to receive this award for the teamwork that we do here at DO-ER. So thank you for that. So why do we do what we do? It's a good question because it is very difficult work. It's generally not well funded, but it is valuable work because there's so much that we don't know about the ocean, and the ocean's our life support system. As a small company, we're not working, we don't receive a lot of government funding, we don't receive a lot of university funding, but we do work with those groups to try to help them achieve their goals on very limited budgets. And it is very important work to get done as we struggle in times now of climate change, and we see basic chemical changes in the ocean, that we need to understand what are those impacts going to be now and 50 years from now. I've been a witness to the incredible change and the loss of biodiversity, not only in the ocean but on the land when we are out in the field, and it's shocking the amount of loss that has occurred. So that's really what drives us here to create technology that allows us to document the change that has happened and to try to give people a path forward to restore these systems that have been so tattered largely in the last 50 years. It can be things like sediment cameras that are used to detect oil and toxins in the mud to help us understand the travel of some of these contaminants. It can be things like submersibles to go down and see the damage that's been done from things like old munitions that have been dumped overboard, old shipwrecks, the damage that oil has caused from a spill back in the 70s, and compare that to new damage that's been happening. But it's not all bad news. We can also use that to look at marine protected areas and to see, are we protecting the correct spots? Are we protecting the right habitats to allow these animals to the best chance of recovery? So these are the sorts of things that really provoke me to get up every day and keep plugging along, and to be persistent and gritty and enduring in the field that's extremely difficult. Here in our machine shop, in our workshop, we have the capacity to rapidly prototype new tools and technology, to experiment with new ideas, and then to take them directly to the field and work with the scientists to help achieve the objectives of exploration before exploitation. Every time we go into the ocean, whether it's in a human-occupied vehicle or in a remotely operated vehicle looking through the camera, every dive is fundamentally different. We see new animals, we see new behaviors. They range from tiny planktonic creatures that go by flashing light to large fish that come by and swoop in and have a look at us before going on their way. We see fish that are local to a region, and we see ones that are global travelers like manta rays, mola mola, whale sharks, and even swordfish. During the Sustainable Seas expeditions, one of the submersible pilots was going along the bottom and came up higher into the water column, and suddenly a swordfish raced out of nowhere, out of the blue, swept past, and then suddenly just put its fins out and stopped mid-water, came back and really spent some time investigating the submersible, looking into it with its large softball-size eye to understand, what is this creature in my space, and before just taking off again. So that opportunity to see something so exciting as an animal in the wild that we normally consider as just a pound of protein or some kind of fillet on a plate, it really changes the way that we think about these animals. If we only ever saw a tiger or a bear as a steak in the supermarket or a restaurant, we wouldn't really understand what an incredible animal it is. And that happens in the ocean, that we are kind of detached from it in a way. And so having those opportunities to take people directly into the sea is critically important today more than ever, as we're experiencing such a dramatic loss of biodiversity. So the more that people that can get out and explore the ocean directly, the better chance that we have to implement the kind of support that we need for respect for these other living systems that our lives ultimately depend on. So with the Project Deep Hope for the HOV 1000s, which are modeled on this human factors model behind me, we're striving to get people the opportunity, be they scientists, explorers, archaeologists, authors, poets, musicians, really anyone that wants to go. We really want to have the ability to take them. And so we're really hopeful that we'll finish that funding phase, get the subs built, and then go out and investigate the Mission Blue Hope spots and other areas around the world where we know that the oceans are still in pretty good shape and we have a real chance to restore and protect them. It helps us to understand, are we protecting the right areas, looking at them in a holistic top to bottom way rather than just from the surface or just from a diver's perspective in that very thin first layer. So it's very rewarding work, but we've had some rough times too. I think one of the darkest days we had was in the midst of a very large research and development project that we believed was fully funded. The major funder decided that he wanted to buy a boat instead, and so that entire project, and just in the course of a day with so much excitement and exhilaration, moving forward to do something incredible, I had to have the job of coming back and saying, sorry guys, we just have to pull up our bootstraps and find another way. And we do. We find another way every day. And it's through the support of organizations like WINGS, and WINGS in particular, that makes this unrestricted funding available to women explorers, to women-led teams, that makes it so valuable because it gives us the opportunity to really try new things in an unfettered way. So thank you again.
Wow. I can't imagine what that must have felt like, Liz, to feel fully funded and ready to go and have that pulled so quickly. And that kind of thing happens way too often. So I'm glad that groups like WINGS are there to help make dreams those realities. And I would like to go. If I can get on there, I'm a poet. I would absolutely love that experience. Can you imagine? But like Liz said, this is our world. This is our livelihood. This is our life. And these gifts that you're making right now are making the difference. So Katie, we threw your awesome package into the chat. Saw some gifts coming in there. We had 1,000, then 1,500. Want to go 2,000, then we had 2,500. It's up to 3,000 right now. Looking for 3,500. Who's going to make those next bids? Keeping that going into the chat bar. And also, if you're looking, we're at $99,414. That's all you can do? Come on. I know we can do better than that. I know we can beat $100,000. I thought by now we'd for sure have done it. So what can we do? Our goal tonight was 110,000 and we are centimeters away from it. And I think you can make it happen. Oh my goodness. Claire Werner just bid $3,000 for the drinks with Katie. Oh my goodness, it's coming in, and I am so excited watching this come in. As your gifts keep coming, Tori Goldstein, Anna Green, 500, Ted Julius, 500. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. I can't say everybody's names because there's so many. Libby King, $1,000. Laura Werner, $1,000. Claire Werner, 5,000. Oh my goodness. Gifts are coming in. Hillary Wallace, $4,000 just came in. Oh my goodness, for the drinks with Katie. Now 4,000. I'm going to go 5,000. Can you imagine how your life would change hanging out with Katie? But more importantly, what a $5,000 gift would be to Wings. What would happen? You get to hang out with Katie, and an explorer gets to change the world, and you help make that happen. You really are the difference. So for those of you that are not going to buy something but just want to make a donation, down below, or also remember that you can text WINGS to 243-725. That's 243-725. Write in WINGS and text in your information. Again, we also have the silent auction with our package to Shackleton. Silent auctions, like an oxymoron. There's also a raffle of these incredible books. It's like the Wings library. These incredible women have written amazing books, and you will get 20 books delivered to you if you're the winner. So make sure you join the raffle. Wow. Oh my goodness. Hillary Wallace, 4,000. I just saw pop through there. What else? I think we can do better. I think we can make more magic happen. I believe in you. Again, look at those numbers. We're $400 away from 100,000. We got to make this happen tonight. Let's make some donations. If you can't make $10,000 gifts, if you can make a $20 gift, a $100 gift, a $500 gift, every single gift matters. And I want you to know that it's not just here tonight. You can continue to make gifts for Wings after tonight. You can follow through. You can mail a check if you need to. Get in touch with Beth. Get in touch with anybody at Wings, because your gifts will lifetimes. It will go all year, and we can't wait to see you next year at the gala. But as you continue to give, it doesn't end tonight. So please keep giving. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to screaming and yelling if we can make it to that $100,000 level. We are super close for it. Can we make it happen? I'm watching all those numbers come in right now. Oh my goodness. I think we can do it. Katie, we are super close, and I believe it's going to happen to make that $100,000 tonight. And I wish I had won drinks with you. All right. Have a great night. Keep going. Keep supporting Wings WorldQuest. Take it away, Katie, for a great interview with Dr. Earle.
All right. You're doing such a terrific job, Erin. So congratulations. Thank you for everyone who's donated. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, and go Werner family, whoever you all are, you're very generous. And I don't know if I mentioned, but before drinks, you do have to go through a criminal background check. I hope you don't mind. And I just want to say, for everyone who has been donating so far, keep it coming, everybody. You know, if we were together, there'd be a lot of noise and applause and laughter. We get, oh, there's my ring light. We get positive reinforcement. But since we don't have it, I thought I just pulled this up on my phone. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, now I am super excited and honored to introduce the Wings WorldQuest 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award winner, someone who is such a personal hero of mine, Dr. Sylvia Earle. When we understand the importance of the oceans to life on the planet, it is really because of Dr. Earle. When we harness our knowledge of the oceans, of life forms and conditions miles beneath the surface, it is because of Sylvia Earle, AKA her deepness. Dr. Earle is a true explorer. She held the world record for an untethered dive, descending 1,250 feet under the Pacific in a pressurized suit, not a submarine, people, a diving suit. She is such a groundbreaker. She was the first female chief scientist at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And if we have hope for life on our planet, it is surely because of Dr. Earle, bringing focus to the ocean's resilience by establishing global hope spots, a global network of marine protected areas. Your deepness, Dr. Earle. Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
Hi, Katie. Thank you for that really generous introduction.
Oh, please don't be modest, Sylvia. You're such a rock star and you've done so much. And we're so thrilled to have you with us tonight. You've been deeper in the oceans and all manner of submersibles than almost anyone on the planet, Sylvia. What is the most amazing thing that you've ever seen in the ocean? The one thing you wish everybody had a chance to see?
Well, it's out there. It's down there. I want everybody to go just experience what's going on beneath the surface. You could go almost anywhere, Katie, and not just see something for yourself for the first time, but be the first person ever to see something. There's so little that we know about the deep sea. You know, we've seen maybe 10% of the ocean. We've only mapped about 15% of the ocean floor with the same kind of accuracy that we have for the moon or Mars, as you heard Diva say. You know, the greatest era of exploration is just beginning now.
I want to talk about that and what the landscape or seascape, Sylvia, looks like for female scientists. But first, I think people might be interested in hearing what initially piqued your interest, because as I've watched all these amazing scientists, I'm wondering what ignited their curiosity, what made them want to explore these far-flung places and do this critically important scientific research. Was there a moment for you, Sylvia or Dr. Earle, that made you think, this is what I want my life's work to be, and this is what I want to do?
Well, here's the thing. Kids are natural explorers. You don't have to teach a kid to be an explorer. They're asking questions. They want to know who, what, why, where, when, how. And I was really fortunate to have parents and others around me who did not discourage that natural curiosity. So kids start out as explorers. Often it gets sort of pushed out of them. They're told to sit down, be quiet, you know, salute. So I think the best hope that we have right now for a long and prosperous future is with the kids who are coming along with knowledge all around that did not and could not exist until right about now. No one had been to the moon when I was a child. We did not know about our inner biome or about the existence of microbes beneath the bottom of the ocean. We just didn't know. Now it's knowledge that's available to a much wider audience than was even possible to reach when I was a child. I relied on books, and I still rely on books. Look, I'm surrounded by books, but there are so many ways now to communicate that did not exist. And I am just thrilled to see my daughter Liz take on the challenge of developing technologies so that the kids of today and their parents and others around them will have access to the ocean in ways that did not exist and could not exist when I was a child. But I got knocked over by a wave when I was 3 years old. The ocean got my attention, and it's life that holds my attention. The extraordinary diversity of creatures who are out there are all around us. Even in the city, you can find just the most wonderful forms of life. Ants that are crawling in the cracks, that are things that are growing between the cracks in the sidewalk, or a tree. If you look closely, these little winged miracles, we call them insects. But then you get into the ocean, it's where the greatest diversity and abundance of life actually is. You never know what you're going to find when you go into the ocean, but you know it's going to be good.
Do you think that things have changed? You're such a trailblazer, and we're really going where few women dared to go when you started your career. How have things changed for female scientists and explorers? Do you think that they're being more embraced by the scientific community and they're being more encouraged academically? How would you say things have changed since you started your career?
Well, they haven't changed enough, that's for sure. But they have shifted significantly. Now, in the field of oceanography, it's not surprising to see not only women scientists, but women captains of the ships, women engineers, women doing a wide spectrum of what it takes, what humans do, this complex, multifaceted society that we have. When I first had an opportunity to go on a major oceanographic expedition in the 1960s, it really was unusual for women to participate. And the expedition went to the Indian Ocean. And as we embarked, I was one of 12 scientists. As we embarked from Mombasa, the scientific group had a chance to be interviewed by the Mombasa Daily Times. And we poured our hearts out about what it is we wanted to see and what we're hoping to accomplish. But the headline the next day was, "Sylvia sails away with 70 men, but she expects no problems." I mean, imagine, Katie, if asking a guy, would there be a problem sailing away with 70 women? I mean, I didn't think it was a problem as a woman, but as a scientist, trying to understand what was beneath the boat. We had diving equipment. We were among the first scientists on a major oceanographic expedition to have scuba, let alone equipment that could actually take someone like Diva in a submarine down to as much as 1,000 meters or deeper. That's the new reality, that men and women alike now have opportunities that didn't exist when I was coming along as a would-be scientist and explorer.
Having said that, you just said, Sylvia, that things haven't changed enough. And I'm curious, you have reached the peak of science. You held a key government position. Now you have your own nonprofit. You have influence and standing. You're an ocean elder. I don't know how I feel about the word elder. I just think you're an ocean rock star. But why do you think WINGS WorldQuest and its unrestricted support of women scientists and explorers is so critically important now?
Well, as never before, really exploring and having unrestricted funding, even a relatively small amount, makes a huge difference, magnified difference. The opportunity to just be able to use your own judgment, this is what I need the most, rather than have to go through a process of justifying every penny. Just to have some discretionary support is really meaningful, whether you're a guy or a woman. It's the kind of support that is rare, but really especially meaningful. And I think because even in the 21st century, in this country and around the world, we still are regarded as women as, we have to sort of justify ourselves as scientists or as explorers, or you certainly must have felt it yourself, Katie, in positions where the guys dominate. It's just a fact. It's exciting that we are witnesses and participants at this change of attitude, because we can help make it happen. And we can do it by being the best we can be at whatever it is that we do, as women, as whatever we are.
And I wanted to ask you, Sylvia, in closing, there's so many problems. This has been such a hard year. I keep having anxiety dreams. I'm sure other people are too, with the pandemic, California wildfires, global warming, political rancor and division. This is sort of a double question. The first part is, what gives you hope? And what can just the average person do to contribute to positive change and be a part of the change they wish to see?
Well, and I wish I had insight into what each and every person who wants to make a difference, who they are and what they're good at. But truly, no one knows better than you, whoever you are, what you're good at, what you care about, and how you use your time. We can see this avalanche of problems. Choose something that you can do that really makes your heart beat fast. There's so many things. Look at you. You are using your talent with words and with ideas as a communicator. Not everybody can do that. Some people have a gift with music. Others have a passion for art. I have a passion for science, for exploration, but whatever it is, to be the best you can at it and use that skill to make a difference in a positive way, to think, look, tomorrow will be a better day than today because of something I'm doing. And times 7 billion, maybe we'll get to a better place. But you know what the problems are. And we know that even not just the major things you can choose to do professionally or otherwise, but it's all the little things. We know about the problems with plastics, for example. We know that what we buy, what we choose to eat or not, again, times 7 billion adds up. And you can be the one doing the one thing that inspires somebody else, who inspires somebody else, that begins this wave of change. It is happening. It's so exciting to see the kids taking the lead. And
isn't it?
Also great to see how in the past, women, because of culture, I suspect, have been hesitant to step up and hesitant to, raise their hand, if you will. That's changing. And that's what WINGS is honoring and supporting and encouraging to look at who you are and what you can do and to step up. I'm so thrilled to see one of my own children stepping up. Normally it would be the guy who would be the CEO and the instigator. Liz chose well and has a partner, her husband, who's really smart and really good and really talented. And he's quite comfortable doing what he does as the head of operations and engineer. It's a partnership. That's what you like to see happening everywhere, that people bring out the best in whoever you are and work with others and respect the good that others are doing. And I just hope that we will come to respect the rest of life on Earth and treat whatever it is, fish, squid, octopus, sea urchins, krill, whatever, with dignity and respect. Our lives depend on the rest of life on Earth. Right now, we're treating so many creatures from the sea as nothing more than a seafood dinner. It's frustrating when you know what these animals really are and how important they are alive to see them treated just as something to eat. We need to think differently, something everybody can do. Think differently about life in the ocean.
Well, those are very good, wise closing words. Dr. Sylvia Earle, it's a real privilege to speak with you. As I've said, I've long admired your commitment and dedication to the world's oceans, and they're so important to all of us. And thank you for inspiring us tonight.
So, Katie, do we have a dive plan for some time in the future? Can we make a deep in the water?
Sylvia, I'm not a very good swimmer, but if you'll work with me, I'll be there.
So maybe we can get one of Liz's submarines to go have a party underwater.
That sounds fun. That would be great.
We don't
Thanks,
even
Sylvia.
have to get wet.
Thank you so much. Hey, by the way, everybody, Erin did such a great job, but I think it's now up to me to just give one more shout out to just say that we're going to continue fundraising. I'm not sure how long it's open, but I think we're very, very close to tonight's fundraising goal. So you all have been so generous. Thank you in advance. And for those of you who haven't been able to donate, remember, no amount is too small. If you want to give $10 and maybe share with your friends on Facebook or Instagram or, whatever social media platform you use about the incredible work that's being done by this organization. And I just have to say, I think the videos were so breathtakingly beautiful. I know different people were involved in the production of these videos, but I just want to say props to the organization because I think they were so captivating and just breathtakingly beautiful. So once again, congratulations to Sylvia Earle. Women like Dr. Amon, Liz Taylor, and Dr. Earle have been inspiring all of us for a very long time. I'd like to thank World's WingQuest for inviting me to be part of the 2020 Wings WorldQuest Women of Discovery Awards. It's been a lot of fun. I'm not getting any positive feedback, so I hope you all think I did a good job. I tried to make it a little fun as well as inspiring, which it certainly was. All of these interviews will be available at wingsworldquest.org. Please share the program with your friends and colleagues. Tell them about the extraordinary work that's being done so they can be inspired and they can then in turn support Wings and the next generation, as well as the current generation of scientists and explorers. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and have a great night, and please stay safe, be smart, and wear your mask and practice social distancing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kimmy Goldstein. I founded the Wings WorldQuest Junior Council in 2016 and joined the board in 2018. For everyone who was with us live here tonight and those who are watching us at some point in the future, thank you for joining us to hear the incredible stories of these extraordinary women. To those of you who are new to Wings, welcome. We hope this is just the beginning and you'll stay with us for years to come.
The wind song. Bring it
What
on,
what
baby.
I have to been living with for 51 days and probably 50 more.
40.
Yeah, but the 40 from the pole and out. We are 10
And the
days
boat.
left to the pole.
Well, you'll have
Here's the wind song.
You don't like my dance?
This is serious art and she's making fun.
No, I'm being the wind.
The wind.
Oh, the tent is moving.
Oh,
Ever so
thank
softly.
God. It's the music that makes it.
Yeah.
Thank God for these harps.
Yeah. YourExpedition.com. We miss you. And I bet you don't miss us.